Welcome to Sharing My Truth with Mel and Susie, the uncensored version, where we bear it all.
We do.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sharing My Truth. Here we are in London town.
Wow.
Hey everyone. It's Mel and Susie, and you're here with Share My Truth, and we are live coming from London in the UK, not Ontario, and having a fun, grand old time. And my accent's getting better every day, isn't it, Mel?
There's some work to be done.
But here's a cute friendly reminder to so rude. To give this a podcast a cute little 5 stars. Tell us why you like it, and don't tell us why you hate it. And go to sharemytruth.com. Share your truth with us. Share your truth with us. Share My Truth Pod on the socials. Give us a like. Hit subscribe. Give us some fun.
Yes.
Hey guys. Hey babes.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm fab.
Fab.
I'm in London. I'm fab.
Flittily, flutily, flab.
Okay.
I feel like you guys just say bippity bop, cocksmith, bista, boychester. Like, what are these fucking words with all these letters in them that don't actually say anything?
Yes, this is true. Bits
It's exhausting.
I can't think of any, but there's tons of them. We
Literally
say
exhausting.
things. There's tons of things that we say, and we have many, many, many ways to say the same thing. And in different parts of the UK, it's different.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So we don't even speak the same language. to
No,
each
and
other.
everyone has a different accent, and so I try to listen to people.
Yeah.
Like, we were at the podcast convention,
Yes.
which is why we were pretty much here in London, also just to have a fun, grand old time.
Yeah.
And Mel's obviously doing a great job talking to all these other British folk, and I'm just like standing there being like, I'm a fucking idiot.
No, it was quite funny actually.
No idea what these people are saying.
Within sort of like half an hour, we spoke to one woman who's Scottish, then somebody was Northern Irish, somebody was Welsh, somebody was Northern England, somebody was Southern England. And Susie's just like, what the hell
I
is
literally
going
can't
on?
understand any of these people.
Why do
I mean,
you
I try.
Yeah. And then they say things very differently and they speak very fast.
Yes, and
And
that
they
was
talk a lot.
that was when we first got here. So that was like the jet lag was so real, and I was like already falling asleep
Yeah.
when these people were speaking to me, and I was like, I can't listen to you anymore. But it was fun.
It was.
It was a fun little time podcast convention.
It was really good. Learned a lot of things. Met
Learned
some
so
interesting
many
people.
things. Yeah.
Some very interesting people.
Very interesting people. Yeah, some life lessons and some not so life lessons.
Exactly.
Well, we're getting into it today. We're talking about a very fun topic: masturbation.
Yes.
Fun.
Thank you for saying it like that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Because it's serious
Yes.
and it's very important, and it must be said.
Yes.
Not this just diddling on yourself or anything fun like that. It's true and it's important.
Diddling on yourself.
Yeah, whatever they call it, jerking off, having a good old time.
Oh, I see. Diddling on
you know.
yourself, yes. So the thing is, what is the question then?
Well, why do some people prefer masturbation over sex? And do they?
And if there is masturbation, why bother with sex?
Why even bother?
Because it's bother, isn't it?
Oh, it's a god darn damn it bother. If I know for a fact, which I do, that if I masturbate, I'm going to come.
Mm.
But I don't know for a fact that if I have a partner, that he's going to make me come.
Yeah, for
Or she.
sure.
It's
Or
just
she.
like, or she. It's just like, why even bother?
Why do we bother? Why do we put all that work in?
Yeah, Mel, why?
Well, some people don't.
You're right.
Some people don't. They just, I'd say in that category, there's probably more women than men
Mm.
that don't bother. And also probably because there's an awful lot of toys and they haven't had great experiences with men. So they just think, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
I think that's possible. I think that's probably a correct assumption of mine.
Do you think men masturbate over having sex with a woman? No.
No. Unless
no
they
way.
can't get a woman or unless they don't have a sex doll.
Yeah, but that's not.
Because there's nothing like, apparently, the feeling.
Yeah. I mean, there's just.
It's not the same, is it?
No, your hand is never going to be the same.
It's going into a warm cavity.
Disgusting. That's what it is. It's really unsexy. But no, you're
Very
right.
British about it, Susie.
And we just say things as we mean them.
Yeah, what is a warm cavity? But I mean, I can't see how men would prefer that. Women, I actually can see. Other than the intimacy part and the fact that, obviously you want to be close to somebody and touch another person and not just in a sexual way. So if you don't actually have sex with a human being, you are missing out. It's kind of very clinical.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, for a lot of women, they've had a lot of bad experiences. And if they just do it themselves, then they know the job gets done. And it's quicker. It's
quicker.
Very efficient. You don't have to do your hair.
No.
You don't have to get your nails done.
There's no foreplay, really.
You don't have to have a bath.
I mean, like, you could foreplay yourself, which is fun. But, God, yeah, you don't have to.
Be bothered, really. We might as well just get to the point, for goodness sake.
I know.
I mean, so I do understand why a lot of women would think that, and maybe particularly older women, if they've had bad experiences.
Yeah.
Or, as we've been discussing a lot in the last week, how difficult it is to get a date, and how difficult, particularly if you're an older woman, because men of your age don't want you. They want younger women. And men have the choice of younger women their age and older women.
Yeah.
Whereas women, say, of my age, in their 40s to sort of 50s, you really can only go out with much, much older men or much, much younger men. And those are two different kind of vibes. You're not going out with an younger man probably to date him. It's for fun. So maybe you just can't be bothered. You're just like, ugh, I just can't be bothered. I'm just going to go with my rabbit.
I mean, at least it gets the job done. But then there's literally nothing like a man's touch.
Well, of course, it's the feeling of somebody, obviously pleasuring, but somebody wanting you, desiring you. That psychologically is a whole thing.
Like, of course, my little clit sucker is going to do a great goddamn job, but it's not the same as a man's tongue who wants it.
It's a machine. Yeah.
It's a machine, but yeah, there's like that thing of like that feeling of like a guy going down on you and like wanting you.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's like and physical.
Hugely. Like it's definitely not the same at all.
No, of course not. It's just a human being who's touching you, who's taking time with you, who's being intimate with you, who's cuddling you, caressing you, whatever they're doing. Of course, that's going to be different.
And it's also like, well, guys are so afraid, not all guys, obviously, but there are men out there who are afraid that this is just like the sex toys are getting out of hand and that you can't have a sex toy, like because it's going to be the takeover like my penis, like whatever they're thinking. And it's like, no, that's not how that works.
It's not how it works at all.
Like, of course we want to come. And we've talked about this before, obviously. Like, it's your little partner. It's not like a penis, It's not going to like kiss you at night. And
no, if men masturbate, that I do know a lot of women who have issues with their husbands masturbating.
Which is honestly so fucked up.
I find,
ladies, come on.
I find strange. And you really shouldn't have. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a bodily function.
Literally.
It's like going to the toilet. I really wouldn't worry about it. And you're really putting too much pressure on yourself if you worry about that. So if men can do it, then why can't women? And and then it helps when you're together and whatever. But there is nothing like another person.
Yeah.
But I do really understand if you have been hurt very badly, or you cannot find somebody who is worth spending the evening with, which, let's face it, and I'm this is for women and for men.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, even when you're your age. I mean, you're going through all these Hinge profiles going, ugh, 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 ugh. So it's difficult at any age, at any level of physical attraction, to find somebody who wants the same thing that you want at that same exact moment in time.
Yeah.
Is very hard. So I get it if you just sort of go, ugh, can't be bothered. There's too many other things in life. You're working, you have children, you have a social life, whatever, and maybe you just think it's not worth the hassle. And I understand why you get to that, but I do think that is sad. So that it's sad, isn't it?
It is
Because
sad.
life is about human connections. It's really important, and it really helps your your mental health if you have human connections. But yeah, so from that point of view, it's sad.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean as much as you think it does. Masturbation.
No, I mean it's a physical. It's particularly for women. I think it's for women. I think I told you this. I said this. I read this somewhere that for men, it's release.
Yeah.
And for women, it's like a power sort of going into them.
Yes.
Which actually makes sense because you're just invigorated. You're vroom,
Yeah.
you know? And so it does that on a physical level, but it's the not having the connection with another human being doesn't do all the other stuff to you mentally, does it?
Yeah.
And it's very good and healthy to feel wanted and desired, and that person doesn't have to be the love of your life. But if you don't have that, then you might not have a very high opinion of yourself, and maybe you should.
Well, it's just like, how would you feel if you couldn't give yourself pleasure in any way?
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I can't give myself a back massage, but I can rub my clit to make me feel better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sort of.
Like, there's pressure points on your body
Yeah.
that is very it's very well known to some people and not very well known in like North America, I feel like. But there's like pressure points in your body that connect places on your back and things like
you
that.
mean like acupuncture, where
Exactly.
Like,
and
your
there's
foot connects to the certain part of your foot connects to your stomach, and
exactly.
kind of
And so like
pressure.
like people don't really realize that they don't think about it as much, but that their body is completely connected.
Yeah, 100%.
And that there's these places that we have to release
Yeah.
and put pressure on and enjoy the massage, and it'll affect everything else in your body and make you feel better.
It's sort of. Have you ever had acupuncture?
No.
So I had acupuncture because I had really, really bad carpal tunnel. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
After my first child, and it's very painful. You literally can't move your wrists.
It's horrible.
Because it's all swollen. There's all this water, and it's pressing on the middle. And I had this acupuncture, and you're a little bit skeptical. And I had it. It was the most unbelievable feeling because literally she put the needles in, and I could feel like electricity.
Wow.
But move, and I'm not like a crystally weird person. I don't believe in a lot of things. I'm a pretty straight up person, so I wouldn't have believed it if you said it to me. But literally, like this electricity almost moved through my body. It was like I could feel it moving out. It was very weird.
Yeah.
And orgasms are similar for women in that way. That's almost like feeling better, like, okay, I was really annoyed and frustrated, and then it moves out. It just sends you to another level.
Yeah.
And that's what they used to say in the old days, like women who are hysterical, and they didn't realize the connection between sexual frustration and
Yes.
and hence why we invented the dildo in this country. We are the inventors. Isn't that impressive?
This is also why I love London. You guys are such dirty, fucking amazing creatures.
We are quite a perverted people. And I'm talking about the English here, so don't anybody Scottish come for me, although I'm partly Scottish. But we are quite perverted. Yeah, I think.
You know, I love a Scottish man.
I know you do. She loves any kind
I
of...
love a Scot.
So if you've got a kilt and would like to come on the show, Susie would love to see you. And we would like to know... I've already told her, if you're a real Scot, you don't have anything under your kilt. But anyway, this has nothing to do with masturbation or what we're talking about. But I think I do... What I am saying, Susie, getting my words out, is that I understand why it gets to a point where you think, I can't be bothered. There are tools out there. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
Or if you're shy, you're insecure about yourself. Because I have no idea about dating, but I've seen you dating. I've seen other friends going on all these apps. It just looks like a lot of work.
It's so much work.
Terrifying. And there are a lot of extremely odd men and women out there.
Yes.
And you have to sift through all these extremely odd people to get somebody who's remotely interesting to even have a drink with, let alone take your clothes off with.
Yeah.
So I do understand why you wouldn't want to do that or spend your very precious free time doing that. I do get it. But there's nothing like human connection.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, oh, the apps are so bad. Like, I don't even want, some of the guys I'm sure are nice. it's just me. I'm like, I don't want to have this small talk conversation because I don't know, I don't want a relationship, but I don't want to also sleep with someone random.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the weirdest thing. So I'm like, right now, I would, and this is different for men, but like I would definitely choose my vibrator over going on a date for potential sex.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but it's funny actually because you're almost old-fashioned in the way that you meet people. Like I've said this to you when I was younger. You went out, you met people
Yeah.
in the real world. IRL. Do you like that? And you know, it was very Gen X.
Yeah, it was.
But I did that for a reason, obviously. But you know, you met people. You didn't know all this information.
Yeah.
You met them because there was a spark and you found them fun and interesting. You spent more time, and then as time went on, you learnt more about them.
Yeah.
You didn't know, you know, what the size of their frigging hiking boot was, you know, before you've even had a coffee with them.
Yeah.
Which is really unsexy if you think about it. It's no excitement in knowing everything.
Yeah,
before
where's
you
the
know it.
mystery? And then we're also so judgmental with their looks because of the apps.
100%. So that's the other thing. Like I'm saying to you, you do meet people in the real world, which is actually
Yeah.
not very millennial of you.
I know.
You're
I actually like to go out and do
You're
things.
like Gen Xy about it, which I find very interesting.
Very Gen X.
You are though. You go out into the world and meet people.
Yeah.
Which is what I would do if I wasn't married, and what I did before. You go out, you meet people, and I just think the apps do have. It's a big problem. It's just it takes the fun, the excitement, the sexiness out of it, and it makes it like look like a joke.
Seriously.
I mean, you are interviewing some of these, like you've shown me on Hinge, and they have to write a comment and put a picture, and even some of the guys you've showed me who've put like kind of a nice, it's almost like a strap line, right? They have to put about themselves. I mean, let's face it, it's pretty hard to not write something super cringy.
Oh my God. Everyone is so fucking cringe on the
But
app.
it's hard,
I'm cringe.
Right? It's exactly.
It's the most
It's hard.
exhausting thing because you're just like, I don't know what to say here. You can't give too much away.
No, and you're trying to
Right?
sell yourself.
Yes.
Which in its essence is not going to start from a good
Yes.
is it? And I just think I know so many people who spent so much time on apps, on the dating apps, and just like, I don't know, maybe you should just find another way.
There's definitely has to be another way, and finding them in person. But then, I mean, coming back to masturbating, it's like, I don't know. Are cam girls still a thing? Can you masturbate with another person and that's how you meet them?
That's funny. Yeah. I don't
You know, and then
Sure
you kind of
women
know
do
what
that.
you guys like.
Yeah. Interesting, Susie.
I thought that was it's a
Wow.
good little dating app idea.
Wow. Can you just, I mean, the legality problems there. Holy shit.
I mean,
But-
you just sign your life away.
Yeah. I don't, yeah. I don't know what to say to that. But I think it is really, really difficult. And I do truly understand why people just can't be bothered. And you don't have time. You're working. You work long hours. Most people work long hours.
Yeah,
But when are you doing this stuff?
literally.
And then I think the thought of thinking, oh my God, it's Friday night. I finally got some time to myself, or it's Saturday. And I have to spend 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours meeting somebody I've never met before. And I've already gone through this whole process of going through all these other people
Mhm.
to find this person.
Yeah, and then it's like just takes the fun out of it, takes the sexiness out
Well,
of it.
yeah, exactly. Whereas you meet somebody at a party, or it's a mutual friend, or you meet somebody like you're on vacation or whatever it is. Of course, it's more titillating and exciting because there's the whole, you get the flutter. You meet somebody, because that's the other thing it takes out of it. That is that when you meet somebody that you find attractive and you get the sort of fluttery feeling.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing that, you know, it's so exciting and you're waiting to meet the person again and all this sort of stuff. Well, how can you possibly have that on the app?
No, you
don't
can't.
have that thing. So then I completely understand why you just couldn't be bothered. I mean, I don't think I could be bothered.
right.
I mean, it's just like I've got other things to do.
It's like if you just had a breakup. Exactly. You have other things to do. Let's say you have
Bridgerton
kids.
to watch. No, I'm joking.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I just think to go out on a date with somebody and start that conversation all over again.
I know. Like
What
here's
do you do?
it's so bad.
Blah, 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 blah.
like if
It's
you're in
boring.
if you're in public and you're trying to meet people, I find that people are so like people don't want to talk to other people outside.
Yeah, no. Well, everyone's scared.
Everyone's so scared of people talking to them.
Everyone's scared that you're a psychopath who's
Yeah.
going to chop you up into pieces and put you in a freezer
Yeah.
because they've seen that in some crazy ass show.
Yeah.
Or they think men are terrified of women because of all the crazy shit that's gone on in the last however many years.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is terrifying, and I get it.
It's also like the only guys who have approached me in the past, like, let's say 6 months have all been fucking weird.
Right.
You know? And
You
it's
mean
like,
on the apps?
no, like in person,
in real
real life, any guy who
If you're
will,
walking down the street.
if
I
I'm
think.
walking down
Yeah.
the street, are fucking weird. And maybe they're not like homeless or like but they are just not all right there. But I'm like, when did we stop kind of just like stopping people? Or
I think it's fair. I think, had this happened to me recently. I was with one of my daughters, and we're just coming out of the subway, and this man comes up to her. I'm standing there and goes, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. And would you like to go for a drink?" And she just looks at him, goes, "Uh-huh," and walks off.
right.
And another time,
Was he cute though? Or was he weird?
he
and
actually was
kind of
quite attractive.
tall,
Tall, attractive man.
older.
No,
Oh,
sort of in his 20s.
oh,
But it's just like, you live in a big city, you're suspicious,
yes.
you're going to steal something, this is a scam, you're going to steal something, I'm standing here with my mum, this is super odd.
Super weird.
And then I've had, well, at my age, it's always weird, or old people who come up to you and go, oh, and say, when I've been with my daughters, and they'll say, "Oh, is this your sister?"
Yeah.
And my daughters are like, "Oh my God." Or, if your half is beautiful, it's your mother.
Yeah,
Who
it's
is,
so
blah, blah, blah.
disgusting.
But they say this stuff, and it just sounds, you're like, mm-hmm. And you just want to back away. And I'm obviously not in the market for looking for a date. But if I was, it would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I think you were a nutcase.
Yeah. You might be.
Yeah.
You actually might be.
And then at what point do you actually go, okay, I'm going to give it a shot and I'm going to like date you or meet you? And then you could be a psychopath and you're stuck in a place with this person. I mean, the whole thing is terrifying.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't actually know what the answer to that is. Because, I mean, there's been lots of stories of Tinder where things have happened, terrible
That's
things
what
have
I'm
happened.
saying. It's like there's actually also like the apps are just as bad.
Yeah.
But like you just kind of get to wean them out a little bit more, but you still get fucked up with the
You
ones
weed
that are
them
weird.
out. But I said this to you, that you're looking at photos, and photos can be very deceptive.
Of course.
They can either make somebody look really good or not as good as they look in real life. And so you don't choose somebody on the basis of those two things. So you can lose the people who are really actually great
Yeah.
because they don't take photos well, or they haven't put that much effort, or they're nervous, or whatever it is. And then you're weeding out the people who are trying too hard, who actually could be really nice people, but it's just like,
It's just like an already of a turnoff.
Exactly.
And that's really hard to come back from.
It's very hard to come back from, hence why I think people are just like, I can't be bothered.
Can't be bothered, let's masturbate instead.
Exactly.
Stay home.
And I won't get pregnant.
Or an STD.
Exactly. So there are some compelling
Benefits.
reasons. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I have to say on this.
I love that. Well, if you guys have a thought about this, because it is kind of an interesting conversation, because no one's meeting anymore. So no one's meeting real people anymore. So people are masturbating way more than they ever have before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't yet masturbate, you probably should.
Probably should.
Find out what you like. And then you can meet someone in real life. IRL.
Thank you, Susie.
All right, guys. Well, go to sharemytruth.com. You guys can send us a little voicemail, send us a little email, snail mail, whatever you guys want. Share My Truth Pod. You can send us a DM. Go to YouTube, subscribe, hit subscribe on this little podcast because we love you. Give us a little 5 stars.
See you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya. Sharing My Truth Pod is so excited to partner with Vibrator.com, where the A in Vibrator is the number 8. This is an extremely exclusive code where no other podcast has it. If you go to Vibrator.com right now, use the code MS15, that's MS15 at Vibrator.com. You can now get 15% off anything in store. That's any sex toys for you, your partner, your neighbor, your mom. We don't judge. We don't care. Get it now. Go to the link in our bio, put in the code, and get jiggy with it.
Thanks so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast and follow us on social at Sharing My Truth Pod. And leave us a voicemail on our website at sharingmytruth.com to share your stories and experiences with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.